Greetings, family. Another episode of the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. I am your host, Deanne. I hope everyone is having a good Friday Eve. So, I didn't realize it was so late because I was like, oh my gosh, it's almost 2:30. So I apologize for coming on a few minutes over 2:30. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday Eve. And I really haven't left the house today. I just wanted to have a day of doing some stuff in the house and some decluttering projects and painting. I'm getting ready for my reveal of my patio. So I think it's going to be done by or before the end of June. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to go into a few things as my topic suggests, could be considered controversial. So let me go ahead and read the fair use disclaimer. I'm just doing this every time just in case. And so I have it in front of me, so I'm just going to read it. So copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So, I talked about this. I had this topic a little bit, I think, a week ago, and I wanted to kind of go over it again. I think I was talking about 2 or 3 different topics in one, and so I just wanted to dive in a little bit more with religion. My topic is religion, is it saving us? I'm just asking a question. So the beverage of choice. I found this, no such thing as finding stuff because everything's in perfect divine order. I was feeling I wanted to try this Waku. I found it on Facebook. They had an advertisement. And it's quite lovely. Not as big. I thought it was going to be 16 ounces, but not bad. And it's caffeine free, only 35 calories, and it's vegan and it's gluten free. And let's see, I've just been drinking like a half a bottle every day, and it has a lot of anti-inflammatory. I won't go into it. Digestive enzymes, and also anti-galesic. Yeah. So this is quite lovely. And it's really on ice. And I just want to let you know it is a product that hails from, I want to say, I think it's from the sub-Saharan region, and it's quite lovely. And it helped for anti-inflammatory. It just does a lot of good because I looked into the ingredients. 20 super herbs and flowers. So, all right. So thank you for letting me do that. So let's go ahead with our topic. So like, share, subscribe, follow. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Like, share, subscribe, follow. I wanted to kind of go into religion because we have been, as a collective, we have been practicing religion for as long as we've been in this country. And so 1619, I guess, started. And I just try to think, like, are we having benefit in this country, with the practices that we are doing. I don't think we are. So if we go prayer meeting, Sunday school, I mean, the list goes on, choir rehearsal, because I've been in Christianity off and on probably the first 25 years of my life. Um, and after leaving New York, I just expanded. I had the base. My maternal grandmother was an evangelist, and she traveled and spoke. She was on the radio, and so I have all that foundation. I'm not going to discount or discredit any of that because it's all a part. Okay, my cat is, yeah, so she is making her appearance. She didn't do this last few times. So this is Bonnie, a rescue, and I'm going to let her go down. So, curiosity killed the cat, satisfaction brought it back. So she is of that nature. No, I mean, I'm so happy. I have two cats, as you probably know. But anyway, getting back. So with the whole thing of Christianity as it is, we have been practicing this for decades, centuries. I mean, it's nonstop. I mean, the majority of our people, not exclusively, but the majority of our people are have Christian background or Christianity at some level. And so I think because we are the original man and woman, um, we seem like we're stuck in a way. We're stuck in religion, all due respect. Is it feeding us? Are we seeing, I'm not going to say benefit, but do we see it in the streets? Because Jews, for example, you know, they're front and center with their religion and their practices. Are we seeing the same? Are we seeing the same? So I'm asking the question because if I don't turn on the TV, if I just stay la 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 la, not hearing anything or not seeing anything front and center, was another mass shooting in California yesterday. And I was like, I thought they were talking about. I thought they were talking about Colorado because it was 8 people that were killed, and I just didn't. It was okay. So what I'm saying to you, everyone has a time to leave here, but are 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 we practicing a faith that allows us the freedom to move about this country front and center? I don't think so. I think we're stuck on Christianity. That should be a foundation. That should definitely be a foundation. If that's what, rocks your boat, let that be the foundation. We have so much other material on the planet, just to stay in one. Christianity is very new on the block. And so as we are the oldest DNA on the planet, known, throughout, we've been everywhere. I'm saying, can we expand? Can we expand? Because you can find reasons to do everything from that Bible. Enslavement, sleeping with, I think Lot was sleeping with a daughter. I don't know all the details, but there's so much tithing. I know a lady who is tithing bouncing checks at the same time because she's got that tithing in her mind. If I drop $100 in service, hey, that's cool. Whenever I go anywhere, if I drop $100, that's fine. But every 200 or 300 a month, this is a lady on fixed income. So this is what we need to reevaluate, because we're kind of walking zombies. Take me to your leader, like, you know, things making sense. Are things making sense? Is our practice making sense? Um, because if you believe that it is, obviously you're in the church. But I believe that, I don't want to say membership. I didn't know. I didn't do any of that statistical analysis before coming on, but I believe it's down to some degree. We have to start expanding. I mean, we're just in that Christianity. I mean, a lot of people are, there's no sense of going somewhere. People are morbidly obese. I'm not trying to say overweight, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. You can manage that. And if you eat better and do some cleanses, you can probably get that off within a year, 6 months. But these are morbidly obese people, men and women, in the churches. Everyone is turning a blind eye. I really appreciate the work of Reverend Barber, I believe, in North Carolina. He hails from North Carolina. And he is morbidly obese. I don't think I've ever seen him any size other than morbidly obese. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but call it out as it is, because the kingdom of God is within. The kingdom of God is within. So when you're eating all the time, in fact, there was a minister. I used to go to my father's church, Baptist church, when he was still living, and it's really good. And once again, obesity from the pulpit. I think T.D. Jakes, maybe not morbidly, but where's the filter pushing back from the table? Having a holistic approach, mind, body, and spirit. I don't see that. Unfortunately, I'm just saying, I don't see that. Our grand old ministers, internationally known, nationally known, I just don't see that, especially in our community. I'm just speaking about our community. So I have been, I did the DNA, whatever that's worth. And so it traced my genetics back to Nigeria. So the majority, my numbers came back a little bit with other nations in the motherland, but primarily it was Nigeria. Okay. So I did some research, obviously, and I've been practicing Yoruba throughout, like, say, 20 years. 20 years. And then I've also had I've been practicing my ancestral practice. That's very, very front and center in my life. These are affording me, I'm going to say, benefit on this side, life, health, liberty, blah, blah, blah. So once I do these practices, 24 hours, I'm doing, anywhere from pouring libation for my father's altar. He's passed on. June 8th will be 6 years. So I definitely want to connect to his spirit. I have his DNA inside of my body. So why wouldn't I honor my ancestors, and I have the altar upstairs in my spare bedroom, one of my spare bedrooms. So we have to look at things other than Christianity. I'm not saying it's bad, it's wrong, but you can find anything and everything in the 66 books, okay? And we haven't let up. Tithing, the this, it's back. If you don't tithe, fire and brimstone, you're going to burn at the stake. I'm just saying. It's just so chiseled in our mind. So that's unfortunate. But we need to expand our consciousness. A lot of the Bible is punitive. It's, if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, that, it's just so much. So we can offer up some other non-oppressive work in our thoughts, in our mind, our spirit. Because like I said, Christianity is very oppressive. Especially women. I mean, I don't know. A lot of women, Black women, are in the church, no doubt. Definitely. Front and center. So we have, because people are reading section of whatever the minister is talking about, and obviously you can read front and back, Revelation, etc. To Revelation, Genesis to Revelation. I'm saying, but typically the point is going to be driven home by the minister or ministers, and depending on what their goal is, the end result, you just know you're going to follow suit. It's like no big deal. So I just want to release the chains, because we have been freed, but we still are in bondage in our mind, in our body, in our spirit. And I'm offering up an alternative. So the one, I felt that the Seventh-day Adventists, that was the only religion I felt addressed the health and wellness of the body. They look at the body, mind, and spirit. And that's the only, if I were to go to a church, I think the Seventh-day Adventists, because they worship on Saturday, which is the seventh day. And so their Sunday is like the Saturday. But they totally are interested in their practice. I went to one, I think, I know back in Atlanta, but I'm trying to think, did I go somewhere here the last few years? I'm trying to think, perhaps I did. But everyone was very courteous and very, very, very nice, etc. And they had exercises and this and that. They had certain things that we did 3 or 4 nights a week. I think it was in their auditorium or something, pretty much the auditorium. They had a method of keeping the mind, body, and spirit, because they felt it was a collective. You have to look at one, and not one or the other. It's the whole package. So I really appreciate that, from that standpoint, because, a lot of it's not healthy. I mean, Bishop Barber, I believe he hails from North Carolina. He's my age exactly. I think we're a month apart. And someone, I just don't know what the game is, what the end game is. Is that an example? I'm not trying to say anything bad on, but it's a lot. It's more than who I'm speaking about. But we have to look at this. So some of the Adventists, yeah, I believe that was the one thing that I would consider as a Christian, more of a Christian platform if I chose that. The Yoruba ancestral altar, in fact, we know numerology is big in the Bible. Even if it's I don't want to say Exodus, I don't know exactly where. I know numerology numbers are all throughout the Bible, all throughout the Bible. So numbers were important, and there's certain books were already deleted. They weren't included. So the books that were included was what we see, the 68 six books. But enough. We don't see. I'm going to say benefit of practice. There's no reason for us to not want to see benefit in the streets. This zoo that we live in, target black and brown men and women. This is hands down. We see it all the time. This is where we're living. So we want to make sound decisions and cultural decisions. We have so much culture in our body, and it's like going by the wayside because I think there's a part of us that's still asleep. We're sleeping. Even though we're awake, we're sleeping. So we have to look at that. I'm not going to be long today. I just wanted to say, we have so many tools in our tool belt. We have just begun to scratch the surface because of the fear, false evidence appearing real in the Bible. If we have this all the time. We are up against the world as it is, the attacks, the killings, we see all that. And then we have a book or books that are, having us, when can we exhale? When can we breathe? We're always probably being assaulted and multiple times in our mind, in our body, in our spirit. We are definitely assaulted, at the hands of others, and the one that came out earlier in the week, I think it was a man who was killed, a brother who was killed out of Louisiana. And they said just blatant, straight up lie, just lie. He said the guy hit the tree and was killed. And I think they're so brazen. So, like I was saying, perhaps it's a time to have bulletproof vests. Not trying to bring that energy in, but we know we're in the zoo. We just don't know each day, each night, I just don't go out too much at night. That's my rule, Anything I can do to avoid. Now, sometimes, obviously, I go out in the evening, I have an event or whatever. But yes, it's not like I'm we are so under pressure. This is why we have high blood pressure. We are so under pressure. It's like it's so tight. The vessels and everything. A lot of us have, unfortunately, autoimmune diseases. That's the body turning on itself. So I mean, look, nuts, Brazil nuts. That stuff in my teeth. Sorry about that. But the body is turning on itself. These are autoimmune diseases, and we're tense. Everything is tight. And the body turns with autoimmune. A body turns on itself. If it's fighting itself. This is not how. This is not why we are here. We are here to love and be compassionate even though we don't see it in the streets, but this is our nature. This is our nature. From Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, it's just so many of our young people. When I say young people, under 30 is young, way young. But we have to look at our practices to see how if they're benefiting us. I don't even know. There's certain churches that they have some exercise programs. We have the prayer meeting, we have this. But if you know your minister is overweight, just pull him or her aside and say, "Can we start a wellness plan?" Or call me. Contact me. I will definitely from Zoom or whatever have a wellness plan and retreat or whatever is needed. Because we have to, when we know better, we do better. And so I don't claim to know all that I need to know. I'm still learning, I'm still a student. We have to start somewhere. Sisters and brothers, we have to start somewhere because, unfortunately, we are being killed in the streets. I'm just saying. So if you're not going to invest in a bulletproof vest, and I'm not joking when I say this, if you're not going to do that, raise your vibration, eat better food, live a clean, don't drive dirty. If you know your tags are bad, park the car, take the bus. I mean, this is when you're eating well, you're going to have this in your mind. Okay. See, my car, in fact, my 95 Camry, quick story, my 95 Camry, I took it, got a couple of things done to make sure it's going to pass missions. It's what, 25, 30 years old, new 30-year-old car. So passed, but I haven't driven it because the tag says May 2021. The tag on the back of the back windshield. I mean, not the windshield, on the registration and everything, and the license plate. So I have that car. I haven't driven that car. I drove my Prius to the post office and I got the tag. The lady said, "We're out of the tags." It usually prints out. If you go to the kiosk, it prints out. And I didn't move that car until I got the correct. So it's 2023, 2 years, So that's good. So I'll drive the car now because I'm not going to do anything to draw attention. Like I said, I started to, when I was driving like last week, and Spirit said, "Look left," and there was a cop right there. And I slammed on brakes because he was right there, he could have just zipped on him. So again, just do the right thing. If you know your tags are bad, get the bus. I mean, this is what we need to do. No shame in your game. We're trying to stay alive. If you see officers, just okay. Don't, if it's broad daylight, I'm not trying to blame people. Make the best decision. You have 7 children that's without a father. So do the very best when we can. If we're not eating crappy food, you have clearer mind and heart and spirit when you go out. Chances are you'll come back home in one piece. So the last thing I want to go over, we know about numerology throughout the Bible. We know that numerology is throughout the Bible. I also have a pendulum. I have a pendulum. I've been sleeping with it in my bed the last few days. This was Baba told me to just sleep with it for 3 days. And I did that. So it's charged up for me. And, I have a yes. If I ask a question and I know it's a yes, it will set, back and forth. The opposite is up and down. And so I use this. Sometimes I use it when I'm getting different food for the first time. And I don't care because a lot of people out here, they're doing, whatever. So I will hold it in my right hand, and then I will use my left hand for the pendulum, and I get a reading and say yes. It'll say yes or no. So this is what I'm saying. We have tools. We have tools in our tool belt. We don't have to go, oh, we know what to do. You know, not trying to say police always pull over people that have stuff that's like, front and center, not doing anything. But if your tags are bad, this or that, if you have a warrant, this or that, take the bus. Take the bus. If you have a bus or a cab. I'm just saying, we have to stay safe. We have to have a knowing in our body, mind, and spirit. That's when we eat good and we're living comfortably. You don't have anyone. Uh, we have a lot of that when we see that. So we should not invoke that our spirit in our body, in our mind, or our spirit, because we know how to live properly without incident and how to travel. Which comes to shove, that bulletproof vest. I'm not saying you should have it. But I know we live in dangerous times for Black and brown people. I'm just trying to keep it real. I would not want to say, "Go get a bulletproof vest." I mean, I think we should live kumbaya. I'm kumbaya all day, all night. This is not where we are. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. You know, I have my queen. Yeah. I got this from actually the thrift store. Somebody gave this up. So I was thinking about it. Like, I really want to get that t shirt. And when I went to that thrift store 2 weeks ago, whoop, I saw it. This is really good. Waku. Really, really good. Just drink a half a bottle. It's in glass, which I like. So let's do our part to stay safe, to heal pain up from our past. I'm not trying to say put the Bible totally down, but just see if something else is out there. If it's Seventh-day Adventists, they really go with the diet. I will tell you that. They promote vegetarianism. And I don't think I've seen that. People are usually doing the sandwiches. I saw it on Facebook. It was somebody was like, "What is that? Can anyone tell me what this is?" And it was a chitlins sandwich because I know my mother's eating chitlins. Maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the year. So when we know better, we do better. Like I said, the Seventh-day Adventists would probably be one of the first, if I were to go back into Christianity for whatever reason, that would be the one. They really promote vegetarianism and a healthy diet, mind, body, and spirit. So look at the tools, numerology throughout the Bible, pendulums, there's so many. Those were just the two that came up for me to talk about today. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow. And I just want you all to expand. Just don't be stuck. We're stuck in this country for the most part, Um, yeah. But if you are going to stay here, uh, just be safe. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Don't eat crappy food. You know, I mean, I don't want to list all the food. It's 10,000 bad stuff, and you have to find, some of the good things. I don't have to eat all the time. I haven't had a solid meal. I'll have one this afternoon. I've been drinking the Waku. I had a protein shake. I went over the ingredients earlier yesterday, and I'm going to eat now. My body is kind of preparing for food, and I've just had liquids in the morning. You know, so we don't have to eat 24 hours. These commercials kind of trick yourself into, I need to go get, fill in the blank. But take care of yourself. If you vibrate high, see, you're not in the line of fire. When you vibrate low to their level, yeah, we don't know. So thank you so much for tuning in. The Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow. I know 5:30 on the East. People are commuting, driving home or whatever. But, share for later viewing. It's totally fine. If you need to contact me, 602-775-9665. That's my business phone. So no reason. If you have a question, I'm available. And I just want to heal our people and keep us safe and just do my part. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Peace.